Hmm. Hey everyone! Oops, I forgot to load that up today. I thought I was going to have a uninterrupted beginning. Hey everyone, welcome to Metaverse Live for this wonderful Friday evening, like always. I'm Mike Lockhart, one of the head honchos over here. I'm one of the founders, creators, developers, art director, all those fun job titles you can think of. So yeah, welcome. I don't know what to say. It has been a long week. It has been a extremely a long week this week, and oof, I am just ready to kick back and relax and work on the game for once. Yeah, this week has been crazy. I have not had a lot of opportunities to work on anything outside of I was able to actually supposed to have been working on the actual game itself, the NES game, but instead I was never really in the mood for it, so I actually just kicked back and actually worked on cleaning up the model a little bit more. I went through, kind of redefined a few things. I improved her face a bit more. It was trying to drive me nuts. I was looking over some like other similar characters, kind of like going through. I mean, the face was really bugging me last week. It still kind of bugs me this week. Still, I feel like it's still not there. Went over some tutorials and just how to construct a low polygon face. It's coming out better. It still bugs me a little bit. Um, Gonna keep working on it. Working on trying to get some elements. Broke up like the arms and legs a bit to get those all to work a little bit better. I really want to kind of just flush her out more of a costume. I want to add more elements to kind of make it look more like armor. Because I feel like that's more what she would do. She would have more of an armor esque look to her than she would like uh, skin type superhero type outfit. Actually, that was one thing I did wind up working on. I actually like took a break and actually just kind of sat down in front of my old iMac and just did some writing over the week. Like at 1 o'clock in the morning, I had to kind of just unwind, and I was kind of figure out like what was this character going to be like in the future from where we have see her in the first game, what she's going to be more like in the future, like what things will have changed, and just kind of going through like what elements in the game would I want more. And I just kind of kept going back to like I really wanted to kind of embrace more of a fantasy meets cyberpunk type universe. And so I was kind of like loading up a lot of imagery of like uh, 80s and 90s cyberpunk, well, early 90s cyberpunk for this character. And kind of like figuring out where would we be going with this. I also was like thinking like just like what would she look like? What type of outfit would she wear? I've I understand like why a skin tight outfit works pretty well for superheroes because it's makes it harder for you to grab onto the character. I mean, aesthetically, it's just appealing to the reader to see something like that. I mean, that's why all the male characters, female characters, they all wear skin tight so you can see everything. But I mean, also from the standpoint, from an actual legit reason behind it, I mean, it makes sense because it's like, wow, what do you grab onto? That's why, honestly, I think capes are like the stupidest thing ever designed for a character because it's one of the easiest things people can grab onto. And yeah, there's a lot of things in outfits I don't understand why they do it. Like some of my favorite characters have outfits that just don't make sense, but I mean, it's all appealing. I mean, it was never about, hey, does this make sense? It's always about how it looks. But I'm kind of thinking with her, I want to kind of think of like, okay, what makes sense? And she's not doesn't have super strength. She relies on technology, very similar to something like Iron Man. So, or the Night Sabers, things like that. So I figure it's like, you know what, we should be going on that path when designing her. Give her more maybe of a more Mega Man esque look to her, where she has what looks like armor plating and not this skin tight outfit that we originally were designing. So I had actually gone through. I was just redesigning things. As you notice, like the only thing I really kind of kept was the hair, the boots, legs. Yeah, I kept a lot of stuff, but I noticed like I started making things a little bit more blocky. I want to go through and like kind of redo the arms a little bit more. I kind of want to maybe just build up the chest piece more and make it look more like um, something that really kind of looks like body art. But yeah, our hero, she doesn't have superhuman abilities. She relies on tech. So she relies on, she's going to want to wear something that's armor based if she is fighting crime and fighting people. She's not going to want to be able to get easily injured. So that's where we're going to go with kind of designing this character. I've decided, like I was going back and forth with the idea of putting a helmet on her, and I feel like the helmet is, I think, too much. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, I could do a helmet. Yeah, just like Power Rangers, Iron Man, Night Sabers. I mean, everyone was, you had lots of characters with helmets on, but I just think, no, we'll skip on the helmet. But I did want to make sure her hair was somewhat short because, in my opinion, long hair is inviting an enemy to grab it and pull it, and that'd be a problem. And I don't want to give her like a pixie cut type ordeal, so I'm just keeping it somewhat short. Gotta work on this some more. I don't think her, I think it has some issues with the hair not lining up properly right now. I also like I separated things into layers, so it made it easy for me to kind of like work on parts of it. I can just like okay, I'm working the legs this way there. Now I just have to worry about the legs and not have to worry about anything else. Makes selecting the points so much easier. So that's why I have it set the way it is. But yeah, the hair I just brought over. I didn't really mess around with it. I just like the hair because I feel like it worked. It was getting that 80. Yeah, see, we still got some issues where it just isn't lined up properly. We just kept reducing the polygon count on it so much, and it's got some issues we got to fix still. But it's looking nice. It's got a nice 80s, early 90s anime look to it, which is what I want. Um, but yeah, so we'll go probably work on the boots some more. So I was trying to give it like that little lip there, kind of giving it like like kind of like the knee high boot type look, but armored version. So I'm gonna keep working on that today. But yeah, I was doing a lot of writing, just kind of planning out stuff for the character, kind of writing up the timeline, kind of figuring out okay what would have happened between each game. Um, how's the character evolving? How's she changing? How's the society changing? Um, how's the world changing? Because I mean that's another thing. It's like I want to slowly incorporate more cyberpunk into this. So I'm trying to figure out. It's like, well, what actually this is one thing we need to go back to and fix in the game we're currently working on is that I need to give it a little bit more of a um fantasy look. I need to incorporate some way more trees into the environment, get rid of maybe change up what the buildings look like. But second game, I figure it's like okay, we're going to slowly kind of move away from like the like she's coming from the suburbs, and we're going to probably move into the city in the once we hit 3D, so we can do a lot more cyberpunk esque looks. But we got to find a way to mix in these two different genres that usually don't mix well. Um, because like I mean I love like one thing I always loved about cyberpunk and um, is just kind of like the cityscape, the neon lights. I love that aesthetic, and I want to try to find ways to incorporate that, but also kind of have like probably not the best example because it's out of the time frame, but I'm just trying to think of a better way to describe it. But like have like the world of Tron Legacy or oh wow, why am I spacing on it? Or Blade Runner crash into the world of like Tolkien. It's like how would these two ideas mesh? How would they look? It's definitely something I've got this visual in my head, and the key thing now is to try to figure out a way to bring it to life. And it's really weird. It's really hard to try to figure out how to show this without trying to just build it and then do trial and error. But I feel like if I try to do that, it's going to eat up so much time. And it's like we've already spent so much time developing this game. I mean, we've been developing this whole saga for a couple of years now. I mean, we started off, we literally started with nothing, and all we had was an idea, and you guys have been able to kind of follow us on the journey as we continuously develop this world, these characters, this everything. I mean, we started literally with this idea of how, okay, we got the hero, she's going to have some type of magic weapon, and bad guys. We had a little bit more. I wasn't really kind of talking about a lot of what we had else, but we had kind of a skeleton idea of what type of world we wanted to have, and always from the beginning was we wanted to have the fantasy world meet the real world. Um, I kind of came up with this whole idea way, way back in like as a little kid, honestly. Geez, it was like mid '80s, early '80s. Um, came from an old episode of Dungeons and Dragons, the animated series, and in one episode, they wound up going back into the real world, and the villain followed them into that world. And so all of a sudden, you had the D&D world and the real world, and I'm just like, that would be so cool. Having the two worlds collide would be really awesome. Like magic in the real world? Wow, that'd be so cool. And I've always been surprised that it's never been an idea that's been done a lot with. I mean, we occasionally get things like, what was it, Shadowrun? Was it? Was it? I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go look it up. Where's my mouse? It's here somewhere. Is it Shadowrun? Yeah, we had Shadowrun, which I remember being like an Xbox game, Xbox 360 game that tanked. Um, oh wow, okay, there was more. There was a Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo game for it. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Ooh. But nonetheless, it's not a popular genre. At least I feel like it's not. And the first time I actually ever seeing it kind of happen in the real world in media was outside that episode of Dungeons and Dragons, which really wasn't what I'm thinking. But the first time I saw it was that 360 game Shadowrun, which come to find out there's a lot more to it than I was aware of. But I mean, I never honestly didn't care much for the game, so that's why I never kind of dug more into it. Um, but yeah, and then after that, I think the other thing I saw was that Will Smith Netflix series, and then more recently we had Onward, the Pixar movie, which kind of dabbled in that idea too. I mean, they stayed pretty still pretty very fantasy esque, I'm definitely thinking more of a crash between science fiction and fantasy into one world. Um, and I just feel it's a genre, like it's a genre. I don't really say it's its own genre, but it's an idea that really hasn't developed a lot. I feel like it's a very underlooked idea, but I mean, I guess if you think about it, trying to merge those two things, like science, technology with magic. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like you would have one or the other. Um, we have worked out ways to kind of explain that in our universe. Why has like why is magic? Well, why is the two coexisting? And we've come up with some story ideas. We're still fleshing them out, but it actually, well, we wind up using some ideas from our very first idea, our very first game pitch we did, which got us in the door with our foot in the door with Nintendo. We took that pitch and we had really fleshed out a lot of story elements for that because that was our plan for our first game. And um, so I actually went through and was kind of like, we never did anything with this. I'd rather it not go to waste. I mean, we spent almost a year fleshing out these ideas for this game, and I'm gonna try to work and talk at the same time. we saw how well that did last time, but anyway, so I went through and I took elements from that original story, and I was able to use it as an explanation as to why things were going the way they were. Like, why is technology, why is there technology and magic together? Like, usually these two elements aren't connected. And I came up with the idea where you will find out that humans made a sacrifice, and the sacrifice was their magic. And because of that, they no longer had the ability to use magic. Yet, other creatures were able to. And because of this, mankind wound up developing more in. Able to went off to develop more went off to develop more science stuff, and as a way to compensate for their lack of magic. And I felt like that was a good explanation as to why things went the way they did. And I hope you guys do too. I mean, as I said, I'm putting a lot of thought in it, figuring out why things happened the way they did. And I feel like it's just a good explanation. I mean, line these better. Oop, not that one. Nope. Yeah, that works. Just trying to make these things a little bit more flushed out. But yeah, so we have these story elements from our first game, which explains that in order to say kind of a whole like in order to save the world, mankind made the ultimate sacrifice, which was their ability to control magic, and thus they wound up becoming like second-class citizens in this world. And after that, they eventually wound up developing technology, and that's why things got to the way they are. Now, why I want to stretch, don't I? What we'll do is we'll actually remirror this afterwards. So yeah, that I mean that's gonna be the whole story on that, where it helps explain why things went the way they did.
is not where it needs to be. Neither, Omar.
There. That's definitely more
Armor-esque.
But yeah, so that's how we'll want to. We decided to explain why things went kind of the way they did.
And I had caps lock on.
Yeah. One thing I'm looking forward to actually texturing this thing at some point in the near future. But yeah, so we got these cool ideas that we've been able to flesh out somewhat. Still got a lot more to do to get it pure 100% fleshed out, but it's definitely coming along. Definitely has come a long way compared to where we were originally with it. So I'm trying to keep our hero with somewhat of a female form, but one thing like I really did not want her busty. I did not want our character busty at all. And this is just preference, honestly.
I'm not big on that look. Um, I also don't think it's a good like heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and
That's how I want my hero to look. But I don't want you to think that she's a boy either. So
I want to create something.
so kind of like I want to do something kind of like very I don't know. Not, I don't want like giant ball objects like Samus or anything. I just want to do something.
this. Let's get all line on the right. Shoot. Don't. I gotta remember to turn this thing off occasionally.
So we keep bopping back and forth on the idea of do we want our hero to
Get rid of a bit of this. This is
not needed. I want to make this more of a skirt. Keep bopping around the idea of like what type of game do we want to do for this third one. I know we've told you guys we want to let you guys kind of just be the ones to decide this, but we kind of need to have somewhat of a little bit of idea to go forward, kind of like show off what we want to do. And I mean, game mechanics is kind of a key thing. Like, how do we want this game to be? How is she going to be fighting? And we definitely feel like having it more definitely an action game probably makes the most sense.
Which size? Increase this. Don't want like a skirt. I just feel
It's gonna be something that'll be easier for her to move her legs and not get noticed.
I really kind of just want to do. Let's see.
Is that more armor esque, less? If I have it so, yeah, actually, I kind of like that more. I'm definitely getting a lot of kind of trying to definitely go with a lot more oh, wow, I'm spacing on stuff tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Lightsaber esque. That's what I'm on. Which I mean, I've stated before, like that was gonna be a huge influence.
Just trying some stuff out. coming up with colors is
Key.
yeah.
All the old colors I was working on.
Okay, that is not doing what I want. Let's see if we 'Trying to figure out something to line this up to.
What I need to do is have this thing
Lined up properly. I don't know why it keeps going off kilter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
there. I think that looks a little bit better.
Okay, we got a problem there now. It's just not there too. It's here. Which is right here. Yes, right there.
It's still.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete one of these arms temporarily. Makes life a lot easier. I mean, key right now is I want to keep the polygon count down low. We are really low right now. I mean, that was a freaking miracle.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, we gotta keep in mind
She still has her weapon too, but I figure at this point it would have evolved too. So yeah, there.
And so what I'm thinking for an evolution to that weapon would be more of like a gauntlet type thing. So that's one thing I want to definitely do that. So, oops, Q. It's kind of a little bit, I guess, a little similar to Samus's arm cannon. A little bit. Can I spell today or not? Now, I like to just reconfirm. This is still just a early beta for the character. I mean, not even a beta. I'd say this is like an alpha design for our character. I mean, she could easily change still. In fact, she probably will change again. Implementing a belt or something. I mean, I could do, like, if I slice this, I could implement a belt that way. It's an option. I don't feel like it's the right option. Oops. I mean, one thing is like depending on which platform we went with, N64 or Super Nintendo, N64 or PlayStation. I mean, if we went to PlayStation, man, we definitely have a lot more textures to her. But at the same time, it's like one way to kind of keep that down would be to make it so she is rely more heavily on colors. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna keep that. I was thinking of maybe making her feet black, but I don't think that would really work. Skin. Just to see how that looks. Nice thing is, what's she right now? 1066 polygons. It's her hair right now is what's eating up a lot of the polygons. That's why, yeah, almost 300 polygons just in the hair. But I feel like she's calmed down quite a bit polygon wise, which is nice. Just that hair needs to. I mean, I keep bopping back around with the idea. I was like, oh, maybe I should go back to the idea of actually trying to pull the hair out, which is a common practice, and then just like put a texture on it. But I don't know. I'm liking how she's turning out. Definitely seems. I don't know. I get this like older vibe. Oops. Haha. That looks so bad. Should be able to though. Nah, it won't let me do that group one. Okay, never mind. I thought it'd be cool if it allowed me to do everything by group. What is that? Oh, that's the shininess. I don't like that. Just playing around with this. So, you know what? Let's make a copy of this first. I feel like trying to mess around doing hair on her again like this. I feel like it's doable. I feel like we could figure out how to do this. We can definitely cut down the polygon counts this way. Almost everything. Yeah, I'm sticking with the green hair. Is she an elf, or does she just happen to have somewhat pointy ears? You take the guess. Putting stuff back on just have for fun. Where, oh, what the heck? Where'd my mask go? Well, I think I referred to it as eyes, that's why. That hair also. And boy, I need to go in there and just keep things consistent in my naming. Yeesh. Let's see. Let's see what we can do to try to. Oh, let's What about moving points around? Let's see what we can do. You see, when I was redesigning our head, I was keeping some of those elements. You can see where it was originally lining up and everything. I spent way too much time trying to reconfigure stuff on on her. Oh boy. Let's try to bring polygon count down. Man, I envy those guys back in the day trying to keep those 3D models down in size. It takes a lot. Oh, that actually doesn't look half bad. Man, if we can actually pull this off, that will be great. And again, nothing says we can't go with the pixie cut. As I said, it makes more sense as if you're a superhero to have short hair. Long hair makes no sense as a superhero.
Just gives them another item to grab onto and rip.
That's not going to work. Pulling in the scalp too much.
That might work though.
And I'm going to shut off the other hair now because I think we're getting to a point where this is actually kind of working on its own. Yeah. So that's going to be a problem right there. Try to reduce her hair down a little bit.
Select those polygons in there. Oops, what did I hit? I did not mean to hit that. Uh, Kinda still has a guyish look to it. I don't like that. Uh, Something's off and it's bothering me, and I don't know what.
Oh, Geo is such low polygon counts. I don't like it 100%. There's something off. Ugh. Something very anime-esque right now. Wondering if this might work. Worst case, I might have to redo the head. Oh, what? Did I put it on like a different layer or something?
Okay, why did that not take? I want to take this point back here. If we did a merge points, we get 5 points eliminated. Okay, that's good.
That is exactly what I think I needed.
Uh, not gonna like doing this, but Okay. I'll have to rebuild some stuff, but easy peasy. And let's detail, merge points automatically. I'm very surprised on how many. Okay, that's awesome. Surprised at how there are like no points on the same line. Okay, let's do a quick. Nope, not that one. Get everything aligned on the same spot. I need to find any weird polygons. That is that. Really? Okay, well, let's triple that.
And let's fix these gaping holes now. Hmm. There. Getting closer to having that look we want. Well, I want.
What's our polygon count at now? We are at 784.
Nice. I think that's like what, link level? Uh,
Ah, ah.
mm, made it too small. Well, actually, that looks pretty good. I did that by accident, but I like that.
You know, sometimes happy accidents happen.
Like this right here with like I didn't even realize I had this. You know, I like it. It looks like they're like I don't know, protecting her spine. Keeping that. That was just a happy accident. I'm keeping those though.
I like this.
This is really starting to come together, and it's just you know, a little bits of playing around. Definitely feel like this is finally coming together. You know, once we get actually some textures on here, I think it'll even come together more. wireframe, color wireframe. Huh. All right, dudes. Double side on this. All right, had smoothing on here. Eee. Definitely having a lot more of a robot look to it now, which is good because that's what we're going for. Nah. I always like to not meta nerves. Save object. Hmm. So I'm gonna run out of things I want to do next to this character. Ah, that looks terrible. Hey, look, we got the GameCube version now. 1600 polygons. This would be the version you would see in like cutscenes. uh, I don't know how many people here remember an old 90s 3D animation, but oh boy, did it always look terrible. Let's save this bad boy. I don't know what else to do. I mean, oof. I know it still bugs me. Our face in general bugs me. Nice if that actually lined up properly. What a small nose. Man, it doesn't come out the way I want it. Actually, that looks better. That fixed it a lot actually just now. Oh, let's get rid of that.
I'm just playing around with kind of colors right now.
Hmm.
The fine tuning end of it. What is the part that takes some of the longest time? Nah, not like that. Actually, shoot, I can't go back. I don't know how to. Oh, just lowercase c. Okay.
So kind of the design now I have is the fact, okay, you kind of got the the black parts are kind of like a skin tight, almost outfit type thing, like a leotard almost. A lot of flexibility, more, kind of like giving you that, giving her a little bit more flexibility for movement. The top, bottom, kind of like armor esque thing. And then we have the boots, which are definitely are also this is the boots are kind of one of the items that kind of gives her some of the superhero type abilities, the high jumping, things like that. And then we have the gauntlets, which are for used to kind of probably blocking, and it will be the device that actually uses for shooting, so she won't have like a actual weapon to pick up and hold. So like you wonder like see like how much flexibility will she have? And well, I guess she should still be quite flexible in her arms. Okay, I gotta do something about uh, these things. They blend into the background too much. There. Just because I need to see these things, they blend in too much. I feel like these things need shrunk down a bit.
Let's do. Modify size.
Do, do, do. Yes, quiet show again, guys. So it happens when I have to concentrate.
Get the other one back in now.
Yeah. Now, the fun part would be to see if we can actually get this imported into Unreal at some point. Just read some stuff, see if there's any options out there for us. Uh, hmm. Well, this is definitely something I have to go look into. Not going to be something easy, and definitely not something to do during this show. uh, yeah, okay, well, I'm definitely have to do more research on this. It's probably going to be fairly easy. I probably just don't know how to do it right now. But she's done. I think we're at a point where, yeah, texturing is going to be a big thing next. Create some textures for this character, just kind of get some detail. But I feel like it's going to be minimal. Um, as we saw with things like Mario, we were looking at that model early on, and I think so. We looked at Mario, we looked at a Crash, we looked at Mega Man. A lot of these had very minimal texturing. Mostly it was just face. I think Mario pretty much was like the letter M, a couple little textures. I think the buttons on his overalls, and his eyes. And that was about it for texturing. And I think we're probably going to be following a similar suit with this character, where it probably primarily her eyes will be done with texturing. And we'll probably do something with her actual outfit and probably the gauntlets. Um, Actually, one of the things that was kind of going through my mind when I was designing using a lot more of the black was like, hey, if we put black, you don't really need to texture it because it's black. And so it kind of eliminates one other additional thing we need to worry about. But yeah, I think she's turning out. I think this is pretty good. It'll be fun bringing her into Unreal and then possibly maybe try to play around, put together a level just to kind of show what we've got done. Um, but yeah, so it is 12:30, almost 12:30. It's 12:21. I think I'm calling it an early show tonight, guys. It has been a week for me here. Um, so I am pretty wiped. Um, for the remainder, well, we're in April now, and so 3D March did not turn out to be what I had hoped for. I mean, we spent a lot of time just kind of getting back used to Lightwave. Um, though, did he mention this? I'm in 2019. Is it in here? No, I don't see it here. Supposedly, there is a ability. This is what I'm going to figure out now. Oh boy, excuse me. Just sit, document I was looking at. Okay, so I'm just sorry, I was just reading over this quickly. So there is an actual plugin for Lightwave to import your stuff right into Lightwave. I mean, right into Unreal Real from Lightwave. I don't know if it's like full on scenes or if it's just like models you put together, but that's awesome. And honestly, I mean, I've done a little dissecting of how levels were made back in the day. Um, and usually they are one. Some of them were like I know with Mario, they were one giant mesh. So there is a possibility we might be able to do a similar thing where we'll design a whole entire map in Lightwave and then import it into Unreal, and then we just gotta mess around with lighting and stuff like that to get it to look right. So we might be in some fun. So yeah, as I was saying, um, March was supposed to be doing a lot more 3D stuff. I think we just barely tapped in to the surface on this. I did not get as much stuff done behind the scenes in the actual game engine as I had hoped to do, which was a disappointment. I was really kind of hoping to get a lot more done. But oh, excuse me. Wow, I'm definitely am tired. I'm really trying to get a bunch more stuff done. Um, as I said, I got it so we can teleport to different sections of the map, which is going to be hugely beneficial for working on going to the different dungeons once you've collected the keys. And I mean, we still got things like we haven't designed any bosses for this game yet, so we got to design a few bosses for this game. Uh, Still got that maze section, and actually with the teleportation system, I could probably utilize elements of how I built that into this. So when you go through one section, you teleport to a different section, and boom, 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 boom. Something we could work on right there, worth playing around with. Though that really won't work until we can figure out a way to lock the camera down, which is another big thing that I've been trying to figure out. But yeah, I got lots of stuff to still do behind the scenes, and it stinks. I wish I could just take a week off and work on this game, but sadly that is not an option. So yeah, I think I'm going to be calling it a night. We're going to wrap it up at 12:30 tonight. So hey, another couple minutes will be five a 2 hour episode, which is not bad. I mean, that's how long we used to do them. But yeah, I am happy with how she turned out. It'll be nice to kind of get some textures on her later and try to rig her up in Unreal so we can actually see how she looks and how she moves. I'm really curious on how she's going to move because we are dealing with a very older style on the 3D model. I'm not sure yet if I have to incorporate a bone system in Unreal. I mean, in Unreal, or if I can do it in Lightwave because I mean both options. Though I'm going to assume it's got to be something in Unreal because then if I did, in order to do a bone structure in Lightwave, you got to bring the character into a scene and set it up. Actually, wait, is it a scene? Hold on, let's create. Not seeing anything here. Unless I'm missing it, I am not seeing anything. Again, it's been a while since I've done the. I've worked with Lightwave, so I might be missing something. But oh wait, maps maybe? That's weight map. Weight map is something we're going to be working with probably much later on, probably with the next version of her character, not for this one. But yes, weight maps definitely. Oh, there's bone map, bone weights. I don't know. Lots of things I gotta reacquaint myself to, and yeah, I am no clue at this point what the hell I'm doing with the weight map. I remember the weight map system a long time ago, but I'm so outdated on that. But yeah. Oh, I should do something with the texture because I got oh, so much stuff, so much stuff, so much stuff. A skeleton tree, is that what no, that's not what I want. Oh, there it is. Woohoo. So I can do the skeleton here. Remember how the hell I did that. I mean, how I build a skeleton. I'm pretty sure what it is. If I recall correctly, this was kind of how you built.
So I mean,
This was, if I'm recalling correctly, this was kind of how you built a skeleton for this game. I mean, in here. So you build it out like this. Now I know for a fact I need to actually switch views here. Can't remember if you wanted to merge the points or not. Again, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm not doing this 100% the way you're supposed to. Just kind of doing it quickly. I know what you could do was take these like this. Really? Pretty sure you're supposed to weld these together. I could be totally wrong. I could be just really botching this thing right now. But you go through, multiply, mirror. Oh, okay, good at milk. Oh, so that is part of what you had to do a skeleton for something like this. Here I said I was gonna go call it a night. Now because I found this, I want to keep working. But there, that is your basic bone structure. Very basic. I mean, and for this character, I mean, this is really all we should need. In theory. In practice, who knows? We might need more. But yeah, so this is fun that we got this here. Yeah, and that's so yeah, okay. No, I'm going to save this. And I'm going to call it a night. So yeah, cool. Threw in a quick bone structure, and we'll see how that works. Because honestly, I don't know if it's going to work the way I think it's going to work, or if we're going to have to figure out some way to fine tune this some more, and maybe have to add a weight map into this or something. I mean, there could be a lot more in store for us on this that I am just not prepared for. As I said, it's been a while, so who knows? But it's all fun. Okay, well, save that. Thank you guys all for hanging out tonight. It has been great, and I'll see you guys all next week. So long, take care, and see you later. So long.